What's up, guys? Jason up in New Age Revolution down here in the cave for the continuation of the trifecta weekend. That's right, 3 videos from me coming this Steel City Con weekend. I copped out. I punked out. I did not go to Steel City Con. I am not really regretting it. I woke up this morning, Friday, which would have been the day that I would have started the 4.5-hour drive. I was going to go to the con tomorrow. So Friday was just going to be the hangout at the hotel bar day and just have a good time. And no hotel bar, closed, thanks COVID. So, am I regretting it? No. And I think that's why I know that I'm fine with the decision, because usually there's a wave of regret and I'm like, oh, I can't believe I didn't go, and I'm sad and depressed. But it's like any other day for me here. I got 2 days off now. I took them off from my office. A lot of banging upstairs. A lot of banging. Liam has a friend over, and it's Royal Rumble up there. So yeah, just ignore the floor falling in on me. Very interesting whatever happened to episode right now. I've thought about this for years, and it's when I talk to it about people, it's so hard for me to even formulate thoughts and words about the topic, because it's so strange, and it's more of a feeling and an atmosphere that I can't really talk about. So I'll do the best I can. Tonight, we're going to talk about, whatever happened at nighttime. I mean, nighttime still exists. And a lot of the topics on whatever happened to still exist. It's just the feeling is gone, or the feeling is different. Nighttime. Hear me out now. Back in the day, back when we were kids, and it seems like previous generations than us, nighttime was kind of it was a special time. It was, you knew very much it was nighttime, not by the things that went on outside, right? Not by the old sun going down, but there was stuff that was happening in the house that made it feel like nighttime. Nighttime had a feeling back then that it doesn't have for me now. And I really try to recreate that feeling, and I can't. Some things that are missing from nighttime for me. The number one thing that's missing from nighttime for me is the changing into nighttime clothes. That's gone. That's past. My children, they wear pajamas, but they get them on right before bed. And then they go right to bed. So they change in their rooms and they go to bed. And I'm like, hey guys, why don't you put your pajamas on at 7 and let's, watch some Full House or something. No, we want to wear our shorts still. I have never been a pajamas guy. So I'm usually just lounging around the couch. I think I got something in the old beard there. I'm usually just lounging on the couch in a pair of shorts. I'm usually shirtless because I always run so hot. But I remember my grandparents, when I lived with them, right after dinner, right as the 6 o'clock was usually the introduction of nighttime into their house. 6 o'clock. The lamps would start to come on, and my grandpa would immediately get into his 2-piece pajamas. He would wear, the long sleeve shirt and pants, and that was it. He was rocking the pajamas. The slippers were always a part of nighttime. My grandma, she'd go into the nighttime gear a little later, maybe around, 8:30. But I just remember, and maybe it's because a lot of us, maybe the lighting is different in our houses nowadays, but my grandparents, the house at night felt like it was nighttime, and you didn't go in other rooms, right? You were brought to one room, the family room. They'd have a couple of lights on. They had the like the 80s, the big lamps, that you'd put on your end tables. I mean, huge shades. That familiar click of the light, and then the room is illuminated only by that light and the television. And you were watching nighttime television in the family room, and the rest of the house was pitch dark, right? There were no lights on, pitch dark. And if you wanted to go up to the kitchen, and make something to eat, she would kind of look at me like, what do you mean? It's nighttime. And I'd be like, yeah, I guess I'll just eat in the morning, because it was nighttime. And that feeling, I don't have that feeling. And again, maybe it's because I'm older and nighttime doesn't mean anything. I think it kind of means something to my kids, because if we're ever out later than they're usually, up, like we went to a drive-in a while back and, came home at like 11 o'clock, they were weirded out. Like, Liam was kind of freaked out because it was nighttime. And we were driving in the middle of the night, according to him. And, the 5-year-old kept asking me, is it morning yet? And, I think I have smart kids, but it was just a different feel for them. And they were it was cool and weird at the same time. So I guess maybe it still exists for the kids, but it doesn't exist for me. Nighttime doesn't have a feel, and to me there's some comfort missing. There's a level of comfort missing. I think the television shows that we watch have changed because of the availability of television shows. So I could technically watch the Today Show at night, right? We don't have a prime time television show lineup anymore because we're DVRing everything that we've missed during the day, and the concept is missing. So nighttime television strongly depended on what day it was, and I'm sure that's the case today for people who still watch network TV and still have like a nighttime TV lineup. I don't, but depending on what night it was, you knew what television shows were on. You knew what your lineup was. And most older folks, parents I mean, they certainly were not going to go to bed until the first half of the 11 o'clock news. Right? The first half. Because the second half is sports, and some like national news updates. But the first half is when you get all the big local stories. And so most parents, my parents would go to bed at like 11:15. If I was still up when I was living with my grandparents, if I was still up later on in years, 17, 18 years old, their light would go off, their TV would go off at 11:15 because they had seen half the news. And that was such a nightly ritual routine. And that's changed with the advent of streaming and with DVRs. I mean, we don't necessarily have a nighttime TV lineup. So comfort for me is missing, the feel is missing, the nighttime TV lineup is missing. I've put that back by simply watching nothing but 80s shows on DVD at night. But I've been binge watching Magnum PI. So every single night is Magnum PI instead of like Thursday nights is Magnum PI. No, every single night is Magnum PI. I do want to watch other shows on different nights, but it would take me forever. I have to binge watch these shows. I've got about 50, 60, 70 DVD sets of television shows that I have not even cracked open. I can't watch one show a night. You know what I mean? I have to binge the shows, or else I'll never get through them. I should have started 30 years ago. The snack. Remember snacks as a kid? Again, you knew it was nighttime because you were in your jammies and you were going to eat, and you were not going to eat anything. We had a cupboard, and there was pretty much a menu that you could choose from for snacks. It was the number one snack was going to be cereal. So at night, you were going to be in your jammies, sitting at the breakfast bar or whatever in your kitchen, and you're going to have a bowl of cereal. And it's going to feel a little weird because it's nighttime and you're eating. Maybe you'd get some ice cream if that was added to the list. My dad's favorite was ice cream. My favorite snack was cereal. You'd occasionally grab a bag of chips or something like that, but that was it. That you weren't making eggs. You weren't eating leftovers for dinner for a snack. You weren't getting this big production. You were getting an already designated snack, and that snack would usually come about a half hour, 45 minutes before bed, and that also welcomed in the night. The nighttime was here now. We were in our jammies and we were going to have snacks. So I've been just racking my brain about how to bring back the wind down nighttime. I've been watching Golden Girls, and that's what got me thinking, right? The Cosby Show and Golden Girls, nighttime, big, it's nighttime. The Golden Girls in particular, they are all wearing these over-the-top, unnecessary bed garments, sleep garments, these massively flowing robes and nightgowns. And I'm like, wow, it's definitely nighttime in that house. Look how they're dressed. Look how comfortable they're dressed. And, they're meeting in the kitchen. They're sitting around the kitchen table, drinking some coffee or eating some cheesecake or something in the middle of the night. And it's got that vibe. It's got that feeling. And I want to recreate that. So I spent $18 on Amazon, and I ordered probably the stupidest thing I will ever have. And I ordered a night shirt. Yeah, I ordered a men's night shirt. And like I said, it was only $18. Like I didn't go top shelf on the night shirt. And it's one of those stupid shirts that's like V-neck and it goes probably down to my knees. And I'm going to look like an idiot, but I'm probably going to be super comfortable, and I'm probably going to rock that thing around the house most nights of the week, right? I want to bring the nighttime feeling back. I want to bring nighttime back, right? So I'm gonna wear this night shirt, and and I'm gonna try to bring back nighttime. Maybe have a cup of tea, right? Maybe have some tea at nighttime. Maybe have a decaf coffee, right? And just sit and just really be nighttime. Maybe keep all the lights. I usually do now. I usually keep all the lights off, except in the room where I'm watching TV. But it just doesn't. I don't know what it is. I don't know if it was just a childhood thing, or if all the things that I talked about already have changed so much that I don't know. We don't have that nighttime feeling anymore. So yeah. So there's the most strange episode of Whatever Happened to Nighttime. Right here on the New 80s Revolution. Well, good night.